Our headlines today. In 1 hour, junior doctors in England will begin their longest walkout yet in a continuing pay dispute.
As the wife of Hugh Edwards names him as the presenter at the centre of recent allegations, the BBC says it will restart its investigation. He remains in hospital with serious mental health issues.
What effect do bank holidays and big events like Eurovision have on the health of the economy? Good morning from Liverpool, where I'll be looking at just that ahead of the latest figures at 7.
Good morning. The greatest of comebacks is on for England in the Women's Ashes. On a record-breaking night, they win their third match in a row to level the series with just 2 to play now.
And the stars were on the pink carpet in London last night for the premiere of the Barbie film. The first 50 asylum seekers have arrived at a former RAF base in Essex, which is being used to accommodate them. The Home Office says Wethersfield Airfield will be able to house up to 1,700 single men once it's fully functional this autumn. The refugee charity Care for Calais has criticised the use of the base, labelling it inappropriate. The Department for Transport has confirmed it will re-examine the case for a new train station in Bradford. The city was left out of plans for a proposed new high-speed rail link connecting northern cities. However, no additional funding has been proposed. Research from the Royal Veterinary College suggests that many puppies are still being illegally imported into the UK. The charity Pup Aid, which campaigns to end the practice, says dogs brought in from abroad are more likely to be dangerous.
At today's paper, 6:13 the time right now. Some of the front pages for you. Many papers this morning leading on Hugh Edwards being named by his wife as the person at the centre of the BBC presenter issues. The Daily Telegraph reports on details from her statement, saying her husband had only found out about the allegations 6 days ago. Let's move on to the Daily Mirror. Also reporting on this story, this is the front page this morning. It says Hugh Edwards is now in hospital suffering with serious mental health issues.
Meanwhile, The Times carries the news that Europe is bracing itself for soaring temperatures of up to 48 degrees in the coming days. Now, health officials are warning tourists to shelter from the heat.
Let's have a look at the front page of The Guardian this morning. It's a warning from the Prime Minister. His pledge to cut NHS waiting times won't be met if the strikes continue. Junior doctor leaders threatening to keep up industrial action until the spring unless they receive a credible pay offer.
And I think there is an image that will stay with you for some time. It's rather spectacular. It's been released by NASA to mark 1 year since the James Webb Space Telescope began operations in space. And the image shows, it's one of those, it looks like something out of a sci-fi film, doesn't it? It shows around 50 young stars, many of them similar in mass to the sun, located 390 light years away, which I can't even fathom. You know when you play those games, Charlie, do you ever play those games where you lie down and you look up in the sky and make animals out of clouds? Could so do that with that.
Well, to me, it's looking a little bit like some kind of creature. That's sort of red on the right there, some kind of creature, a bit like the Alien, something along those lines.
I'm thinking unicorn with the creamy stuff. I'm thinking unicorn behind the red beast.
No, I'm not seeing that at all.
Well, stare at it longer, you might.
There's no unicorn there.
You might. There is. It's whatever I decide there is.
Look at the front pages. One story dominates once again, you might expect. Hugh Edwards named as the BBC presenter accused of paying a teenager for explicit pictures. The Metro says there simply it is Hugh Edwards. The Daily Star pictures the presenter and his wife, who named him just at 2 minutes to 6 last night, that was. The Express also says she named him, adding, police don't think he committed any crime. The Eye quotes his wife's statement that he is in hospital under mental health care and asks for privacy. More from her statement on the front of the Daily Mail. That's the front of The Guardian. Hugh Edwards named as the BBC presenter at centre of allegations. And that is what the Telegraph has to say, a similar headline. Times splashes on it too with a picture of the couple. Wife reveals Hugh Edwards is BBC star in Eye of Storm. And that is what the Mirror has to say. The Financial Times, meanwhile, this morning leads with a big fall in inflation in the United States, raising hopes that higher interest rates are working. Now, if you want to see any of those front pages again, or indeed read the stories, then do scan the QR code.